And we're back, y'all. As you can see, I have my bee jacket on. I'm working on putting my gloves on. I wanted to share just a little bit with you about my personal protective equipment when it comes to beekeeping. I am, first of all, allergic to bees, so I have to be extra careful. I swell up pretty bad. So what I like to do is I like to put rubber bands on my gloves, so that keeps the bees from, getting up to my hands. And then I also like to wear my belt like this, so it keeps my suit tight against my body. But now we're gonna go ahead and go in our beehive over here. So these bees have pretty much successfully overwintered, which is very important. So what you saw me do just then was just blow a little smoke in what we call the entrance to the hive down here. And that just sort of lets the bees know, hey, something's about to happen. But like I said in the prior video, the smoke helps to calm them down and to sort of relax them as we go in. So again, you can see our boxes here. We've got, it looks like 2 deeps and a medium. This is the first time that the hive has been opened this spring, so we're going to take a look inside and we are going to see what's happening. So this is what we call our hive top, or a hive lid. It's got a nice reflective metal piece on the top to reflect some of the sun off. We're just going to lay that to the side, and then we've got a inner cover that just sort of, again, helps make the body of the hive. I gotta get my hive tool, because what the bees have done, and what we'll notice, is they have sort of seamed up everything with propolis to keep everything nice and tight and tidy inside of our hive. So we're just going to set that over to the side as well. And we're going to take a look inside of this one. This one wasn't added that long ago, so we're just going to notice that
it was added.
That it has been added. The reason this has been added is because they need more room. So these bees are fully into, I just wanted to show you something right quick. So this is a hive beetle. So those are bad guys in a hive. They are not what we want to see. But we also know that this hive, has just overwintered, so they've been under some stress. But we're going to go ahead and get rid of him because he is not a good guy when it comes to beekeeping. So we'll get rid of him. As you can see, there's a little honeybee right there. The workers in a hive are all female. The only male bee there is called a drone. And we may or may not see a couple drones in here today. But I'm gonna just go ahead and give a little more smoke inside of the hive here. Just sort of like knocking on the door. We are coming in. I don't know if you can hear that, but that's the bees buzzing. And they are expecting us. So we're gonna go ahead and open up this top, and we're gonna check out and see what we have. So you can see these are a bit older frames. You can see some propolis on different portions of it, and things like that. Back to talking about the genders of the insects. I believe right there's a drone. So you can tell that he's a little bit larger than the females. The females, all the workers here are females. So they do all the work, and then of course the queen is also a female. But we're just gonna take a look in here and check out a frame. You can see all the drones are coming on out. So as you can see, I got my nice hook here on my hive tool, and I really like to use it like this because the bees work these frames and they stick them together with their glue called propolis. Let's see if I can get it out here. There we go. All right. So that is an active honeybee frame. So as you can see, I'm try to sit it down here. As you can see, we've got the honeybees working the comb. You see some all the drone comb up here that is capped. That is honey. That is food reserves for the bees through the winter, and it looks like they fared rather well. Let's see. You can actually see lots of activity. What these are called swarm cells or queen cells, and what they'll actually do is they're actually made to grow new queens. So the way that the way that honeybee hives grow is by swarming. So you may have heard the term swarm before. It's not such a happy thing for beekeepers, but it's a happy thing for honeybees in general, because that means that the population is growing and that they are going to be moving on to a new hive. But yeah, this is just one of the frames. You can see right there is a drone, that bigger guy right there, and then the females or the workers all around. There's another drone there. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna stop talking for a few minutes and we're gonna look through some of these frames and see if we can't locate the queen. So the queen will be really noticeable because she's a lot larger than most of the other bees. We're gonna double check on this side, make sure she's not hanging about over here. I don't believe I'm seeing her on this side. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna prop this frame up on the side over here, so we've got a little bit of space to work and check out these frames. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch with my cameraman so he can go over that way, and I can work the frames while we're also, neither one of us are in the front of the hive, because that's the entrance to the hive, and that's, if you're there, you can get in the way of the bees and them coming in and potentially get stoned. So let's see. Lots of drones, which is seasonal. About par for the course as far as the year, time of year, because the drones are being made and grown to eventually leave the hive and go find queens that go out on their mating flights. A queen can go out and go on her mating flight, and she will breed with many drones, and she will get all of what she needs to lay eggs for her entire life. So again, I'm just checking to see if we can find Miss Queen in here anywhere. Not seeing her on this frame either, so we're gonna keep moving, keep looking. As you can see, the bees are very active. This is a very strong hive. This is what we want to see this time of year in a hive. Is working honeybees, working bees. As you can see, this little gal has 2 very large pollen baskets on her. You can see the bright yellow pollen on her legs. That's what her pollen baskets are. So she just went foraging this morning, and has been is bringing back pollen for the hive, so making some honey and other things that the honeybees need. Again, seeing lots of drones. There's another one. You can see her. She's actually working on packing a cell with some pollen in there. You can definitely see her pollen baskets right there. All right. Keep looking. See if we can't see the queen. Sometimes it can be a little difficult to see because of all the activity. Here's some other honeybees with the pollen baskets. There's a queen cell. We're going to get rid of that because we don't want our bees to swarm. And I'm not seeing any queen on this one, so we're going to keep it moving.
Wouldn't bounce on going them out. Get them too stirred up. I know.
Huh? We got viewers?
Yeah. Hey to everybody that's watching.
Flip her over and check out this side. So another thing, I don't know if I mentioned this or not yet, but all these little capped pieces here are what we call capped brood. So those are baby honeybees inside of those cells, and they are growing. Actually, if you look at just the end of the tip of my hive tool here, you can see one is actually starting to emerge or hatch from her cell, her cell, because it's a worker cell. Let's see. Not seeing queen yet.
No, Jordan, they're definitely not practicing social distancing. In a good, strong hive, you'll have sometimes in excess of 50 to 60,000 bees. She's on the bottom.
Might be. So the queen.
More pollen baskets.
Yep, there's more pollen baskets there. Bright yellow. You're probably still noticing lots of dandelions and different things that are in bloom in your community, in your yard. I know my dogwood tree is looking really, really nice right now. So those are some of the things in bloom right now that they are bringing pollen back from. Oh, there she is. There's our, oh no, just kidding. That's a drone. That would have been too easy. So beekeeping is really important, and honeybees particularly are really important because they help us grow food, right? So they are, oh wow, look at all that. That's capped honey, you guys.
Typically, we'll find more of that on the frames on the end of the body of the box.
And that's where we're at right now.
We're in the last frame in this upper box.
All right, put this one back. So as you can see, these frames are nice and sticky and sticking together. They've been working on these frames for
3 years.
3 years. There's another swarm cell. We don't get rid of that one. Without making too much of a mess, hopefully. So as I was saying, honeybees are really important in agriculture. That's why they're my favorite insects. Is because they help us grow our food. They help us grow the plants that feed our livestock, the plants that we use to grow fruits and vegetables. There's lots of peach trees and different trees that are in bloom right now. So if it wasn't for honeybees and other pollinators, you know, that wouldn't happen, and then we wouldn't get that fruit. Same for lots of vegetables too. But earlier today we were talking about insect anatomy or body parts, and you can really see the different body parts on a honeybee. You know, you've got the head and the thorax where the wings come off, and the abdomen there on the back.
Jordan, that's a great question. Bees will travel up to 5 miles away to collect honey and pollen, to collect pollen and nectar, and come back.
Our queen might be in this little bundle here.
You can get her to.
Maybe not.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think they just live in each other. They're not practicing social distance.
No, definitely not.
All right. I don't think we got any queens on this one either. So we still got.
Was that one over here?
Huh?
Was that one over here?
I don't remember.
Because we need to try to remember and put them back where they were. I think it was over here.
Okay. Well, we can wait just a second.
Okay, fine.
We still got lots and lots of honey being capped and honey being inserted. You can see these bees here are eating. They're enjoying the fruits of their labor.
And the honey that you see in these frames are not what you and I would eat. It's more of a sugar water pollen mixture. When you have capped honey like we would harvest out of the hives and that, you know, we would eat as people, it's a clearer, almost white looking cap that's on the comb. That right there would not taste good to us.
Trying to see if I saw any eggs. Alright. So there's only a few bees on this frame. So I'm not actually gonna pull it out. Odds are, my luck, that's probably where the queen is, but we're just gonna roll with it. I'm gonna put these frames back that we've taken out, and then we're going to take a look at the bottom box. Let's see if we can't find her. You want to make sure your frames are nice and tight in here so all of the frames fit. Generally speaking, there's two sides or two ways to keep your frames. You can do 8 frame or you can do 10 frame. As you can see, we're working with 8 frame boxes here. My house, we have 10 frame. Alright, so that's that box. What we're going to do is we are going to tighten things up here just a little bit. Hey everybody who's watching. Linda, Tristan, Jordan, Lee, Whitney. Hope everybody's doing okay. Alright, so now we're going to go into this bottom box and see if we can't locate the queen. So again, this is why you want to have a nice hive tool so you can get these boxes broken apart. And what we're going to do is we're just going to take this one, set it to the side. This is completely safe and completely okay. I'm gonna give. We got any more? So these are some more brood frames. As you can see, this is mainly all brood. So I'm hoping down here in the bottom we'll find our queen somewhere. Well, this is neat. So I don't know if you can see that, but that is a cell that has just shy of being capped. You can see the larva inside of that cell of a little honeybee. So that's pretty cool. Not seeing many eggs yet. There's another cell that hasn't quite been capped yet. They're working on it.
A black cover on your phone is probably not the best idea today. Some of you may be wondering why Taylor's bee jacket is white. The lighter the color, the better off you are. You'd never want to wear black to a hive. You never want to wear red because bees see red as if like it's black, and they will attack that color. Taylor's cover on his phone is actually black, so the bees are just having a heyday with his cover. He's definitely going to have to wash off this cover when he's done.
So as you can see, there are lots and lots of bees in this one hive. There are lots in a hive.
While Taylor's pulling that other frame out, here is a drone. You can see by the end of my finger how big a drone is, and then that is a worker bee right there. They're a lot smaller. The drones do not sting. They don't have stingers. But of course the females, they do. But as a lot of people probably know, they can only sting once because it pulls their insides out and they do die. And they know that. But they will do what they have to do to protect their hive and their family, much like we do. Now the queen, on the other hand, she can sting, but it does not kill her. Her stinger does not have a barb like the worker bees do. So she can sting as many times as she wants to without dying. And actually what happens, these swarm cells that we've been getting rid of, what happens when over time it takes 7 days for them to cap a swarm cell. And then that queen will mature and grow, and when she comes out, because they typically, you have seen, we've gotten rid of several of those. And what happens when the queen that's currently in the hive, she has decided to move on. So they will feed her full of honey, and then she will take a good majority of the bees that are in the existing hive, and they will go find somewhere else. So you probably heard the term, some of you, about swarms. And that's what happens. But what happens, the new queen, the virgin queen that comes out of these swarm cells, when they hatch, they will go around and find all the other swarm cells, and they will sting that cell. And in other words, killing that prospective queen, so she'll never hatch. So she'll never come out. And if they do come out, then it's a death match. It's a fight to the death for the queen.
So we're still just looking for the queen. Really the only difference and indications that we have is that her abdomen is extended. It's elongated. It's larger, even larger than the drones. So it can be difficult to find her.
I'm wondering if she's not. You see her filing over onto there? I'm wondering if she's not in one of those two frames.
Yes, it could be. But I will say there's caps brood in this hive, so she's in here somewhere. So I wanted just to take a look. You see how much darker this bee is here than this bee? This is an older female there.
Our battery's showing up.
Okay.
Is it showing on the screen?
No. So, as the worker bees get older, they will, become a little darker in color. And there are lots and lots of bees in this hive, which is really awesome. They have really worked hard this winter, it looks like. Although it wasn't a very stressful winter. I don't know if you can tell some of this comb down here, but this is what we call bird comb. They put in the bird comb to sort of fix holes and make it to where the hive is nice and secure. So you can see down here some of these bulbous or large, I think that's concave is the term. Those are drone cells. So these will be the drones, the male bees. And this is a time of year where they're making lots of drones because there needs to be drones to mate with the queens. All the virgin queens that will be out on their mating flights probably have already started, but certainly, into April and May. Oh, this is excellent. So, maybe hard to see, but you can actually see these two right here are hatching. They're trying to come out. You can see their antenna.
Oh, wow.
Right there. There's a nasty hive beetle. But they're working their way out, so they're actually hatching. So we're gonna sit here a few minutes and see if we can't watch one emerge. Look at that one. That one's really, really close. She's working her way out. That one there.
Where you at?
Right there. She's making her way out. We're gonna see if she can. We'll see if she might be out in just a few minutes. So of course, similar to, you know, how I guess how chickens hatch, they have to make their way out of their cell. You know, similarly to how a chicken would make its way out of an egg with its egg tooth and all. She's filing away down at the at that comb, the capped piece on top of her comb. You can see her head is emerging. She is almost done. She is so close. We're gonna see a baby bee be born. Maybe. She's so close. You can do it, you can do it. Come on out. All right. She is so close. So now you can see her head. This is fantastic. Her sister there beside her is working too. She's working hard too right there, but this one will be out in just a little bit. Real quick, if we want to span over here, this is a little larva right there that whatever reason didn't quite finish, but that's what they look like sort of in that cell. You can see that head piece right there. She's still working.
Don't talk too much about it.
So we're gonna give her just a few more minutes, maybe, and watch her.
Picture tool there.
There it is. She's so close. There's her little sister saying, "Come on out."
It's pretty bad when you're trying to walk out of your room and they're walking on top of you. I lost her. Okay.
I'm gonna do it like this. Her sister's catching up to her now. Got both of these making their way. So what happens is the queen comes through and lays the eggs into the cells. They grow a little larger, and then the workers, what you call nursery bees, will come through and they'll cover the cells like this. So all these little cells have little baby bees in them. You see that one's head is just about all the way out. that one steamed. Get that. Show them that. So that one you can see has stung the glove. Hopefully not our beekeeper, but you can see how it's struggling to get away from it because they're barbed. Their stingers are barbed. So unfortunately, it'll have to pull itself out in order to. There it goes. So unfortunately, that bee doesn't have much longer left. I don't know that we're going to see these emerge. We are so close. I mean, what they're waiting on. Oh! She was just about all the way to her abdomen out. There she is. Well, those are the two. We're gonna go ahead and say happy birthday and move on along. We'll check a few more frames. Honestly, our queen could be about anywhere by now. We've been in this hive a little too long. Typically, you want to sort of get in and do what you need to do and find what you need to find and get out. But for the purpose of this video, and for educating our 4-Hers out there while they're at home doing their virtual learning, we're taking a little bit longer.
Tell them where she's at.
Yeah, she could be anywhere. We've been in this hive quite a while.
Way too long.
So, all right. Well, folks, I'm gonna call that a video. Thank y'all for tuning in today. We are gonna put our hive back together and get our girls back working, like they would much rather be doing than fighting us off. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. Share with your friends, share with your 4-Hers. And if you have any questions, comment or message us, and we'd be glad to help. So, thanks for stopping in today.
It will not.
Walk away and do it.
Okay.